Bonjour et bienvenue to this online workshop, Branché, Connect to French Online. This workshop came about as a result of a recent decision by Comcast to stop the rebroadcast of CSKH, a TV station out of Sherbrooke, Quebec, that many local people had depended upon for access to French language TV. While the Franco-American Center has done and continues to do a lot of outreach to investigate the reversibility of this decision, we also want to proactively work to solve the problem of access to French language content within our community. After all, cable TV is just one way to access television programming nowadays. With that in mind, the Franco-American Center has put together a page of resources with step-by-step instructions to help keep French language TV in your day-to-day life. In this video, I'm going to introduce each of these resources so that you can follow along or just have a reassuring sense of déjà vu when you access them for yourself later. Now, the news is one of the best ways to maintain a connection with a French-speaking world that can otherwise feel very distant. So let's start with some news programs. Le Téléjournal Midi is aired from Montreal every weekday at noon and can be watched immediately online after it's recorded. It's a typical midday news broadcast with local, national, Quebec and Canadian in this case, and international news. To watch, just visit their episode listing page and select the episode that you'd like to see. The latest one will always be on the top. Téléjournal Estrie ought to be familiar to folks who are used to watching CSKH on cable. It's recorded nightly from the Estrie region surrounding Sherbrooke. Watching this program allows you to keep tabs on what's happening just over the border. Just as with Le Téléjournal Midi, to watch, just visit their episode listing page and select the episode you want to watch. The one that's the latest will always be on the top. By the way, regional evening news isn't unique to l'Estrie. There are broadcasts from around Quebec and Canada more broadly. If you're interested in learning more, check out the resource page on the FAC website for those links. Now, if cable news is more your thing, or you just need to know what's in the news right now, there's RDI. It's a continuous broadcast of news throughout the day. In fact, you can watch Téléjournal live on RDI if you tune in at the right time. To watch it, just visit their page, click En Direct in the top, and find Ici RDI in the list of streams that show up. Now, another source of strong connection to Quebec and the French language for many is their Catholic faith. Fewer and fewer local churches are holding Mass in French. And so if that's how you feel most genuine in your worship, it's time to turn to the internet. L'Oratoire de Saint-Joseph de Montréal in Montreal streams a Mass live every day on YouTube. To virtually attend a Mass live or view any past recordings from their archive, for instance, for particular feast days, go to their YouTube channel and click on the Live tab. From there, you can choose the video for the day and time that you want. Just as a note, if you get to see YouTube in French, by which I mean YouTube itself is in French, such that the home button here says accueil instead, the word for this tab isn't live, it's streams, just so you know. Now, if you click a video before the stream has started, that's okay. Just wait and it will begin automatically. There should even be a countdown timer to let you know how long you have to wait. Something to note that you may have noticed, that L'Oratoire is very proactive in listing masses ahead of time. So the first video in the list is usually going to be sometime in the future, sometimes the distant future. So be sure to look carefully for the date that you want. Lastly, in terms of engaging with French, nothing pulls you into a language more than a good story that you can't get enough of. Movies, sitcoms, dramas, and comedy specials give us reasons to keep going back and watch the next episode and immerse ourselves more completely. Unfortunately, so much of this content is tied up in copyright that none of the resources we've covered so far can really help. Fortunately, Netflix has amassed quite the library of film and TV that is originally voiced in French. And just to be clear, when I say originally voiced, I don't mean English movies that have been dubbed in French. I mean French language movies that you can still watch in French. Now to find it, go to Netflix and click the Browse by Languages option at the top of the page, and then you'll see that you can select preferences for how to browse by languages. Pick original language and switch from English to French or French Canadian if you like. And what shows up are movies and TV shows that were originally recorded in French or French Canadian. Now, worth noting, even though these are French, because Netflix thinks you speak English, when you click into it, you may have to tell it to actually play the French audio for you. To do that, you'll see a speech bubble down here, and be sure and select French from the audio list. Of course, you can choose whatever you like, including subtitles on or off. That's especially helpful for students who are looking to validate what they think they heard. But this is what you might need to do, because we're not turning into French language content to hear it in English, now are we? Now those are some of the resources we have to talk about today. There's plenty more out there if you search around and ask around, but I hope that this is enough to get you started. On behalf of the Franco-American Center, Thank you for being a part of our mission to celebrate French language and culture. If you'd like to hear more or get involved, check us out at facnh.com. And if you'd like to support content like this, or our mission more broadly, please consider becoming a member. Plans begin at $40 a year and rise to meet your generosity from there. Je vous souhaite un grand remerciement pour votre attention. Thank you.